Good afternoon. It's time for a QVA, question video answer session. We haven't done one of these in a very long time, but I thought with recent events, it was a good time to get it, get it going and get a chance for you guys to ask some questions and for me to answer them. So let's dig into it. We have a lot of questions, so I'm going to try and rip through some here. Bubba, who's your first round pick in this fall's fantasy football draft? Andrew Luck. Boom. Bubba, where's your favorite Chinese restaurant? In Mattoon, it is Hunan. Uh, let's see. In Chicago, it's Wing Ho. If you're talking sushi, we like to go to Sushi Kama in Champaign. Great place. Mindy, boxers, briefs, or none of the above? Mindy, you got to leave something to the imagination there, kid. Dawn, how many dogs do you have? We have 3 dogs. They're all outside right now, and they're all a muddy mess. I'm actually procrastinating by doing this QVA. I have to go out and hose them all down. It's ridiculous today. The kitchen is just full of mud, even on the wall. Crazy. Bubba, 3 questions right off the bat. Haven't noticed any posts on social overload lately. Is that still an ongoing project? I would say at best it's probably on hold. We had some personnel changes, and we haven't quite figured out, I don't think, what we're going to do with it yet. Bubba, again. Bubba, go home. You're drunk. I'm joking. Come on, kid. What is your current drink of choice, alcohol and non? Water. I haven't had soda. Don't remember the last time I had a soda. Once in a great while, I get some unsweet tea. Otherwise, it is all water. If I'm having an alcoholic beverage, it's generally Tanqueray gin. Let's see. Patricia, how about you and Rick Kirby working together? Any chance? I don't know Rick personally. We've interacted a little bit on social media over the last couple of years. I wouldn't say no. I mean, I don't know what situation would come about where that would be possible, us working together, but I'm not against it. I don't, Brian, do you like movies about gladiators? I like the movie Gladiator, so yeah, I guess so. Let's see. I also like 10 Commandments. Charlton Heston. Good stuff. Good storytelling. Sandy, I want to see your fur babies on your video, Greg. Because of what I described earlier, they are just muddy as heck. They have to be outside, and I literally have to go out and turn the hose on them. But I'll put pictures up at some point. They're just not inside right now. You've always had a soft heart for dogs, especially. Yeah, that's true. Did you ever get to take Faye horseback riding and where? Haven't worked it out yet. Still hoping to. Maybe at some point this spring or summer we can work that out. She's never been, so, and I've only been once a long time ago when I was a kid, so something still we'd like to do. I was going to surprise her with it, but it hasn't worked out yet. Kristen, the real story behind you leaving Wand. I no longer watch that channel any longer. Well, you made my morning with your weird humor. Awesome. In a good way. Well, I appreciate that, Kristen. I've talked about this before. Most of it was last year. Essentially what happened was my contract came up, and this is what a lot of people don't understand that haven't done contract stuff. Employee has certain needs. The employer has certain needs. And the whole point is to kind of come together and compromise. Sometimes there's a little give and take, and sometimes it's just a very hard, this is what we can offer you, take it or leave it. My situation, it was mostly about schedule. I needed to stay on mornings and be done. They needed me to do mornings and the noon newscast, and theirs was an hour, which is from noon to 1. So on days when I did the noon, I would, leave my house at 2:30 in the morning, and I wouldn't get home until at least 2 in the afternoon. And for our particular situation, it just didn't work out. So we couldn't come to terms on it. So I turned in my resignation on a Friday. Later that afternoon, I announced it here on this page, for you, the peeps. At the station, things kind of blew up on their social media over the weekend and caused them some headache, so I've heard. And that Monday they called and said, well, you just don't have to come back. And so technically, contract expired, couldn't come to terms. I resigned, and 3 days later they fired me. So I quit and then they fired me. That was basically what happened. Faye, ooh, Faye, I'm looking at your profile pic there. Kind of a hottie. Not even kind of, because I know you'll call me out on saying kind of. What have you learned from your year off of weather? I've learned an appreciation for it. I've learned a lot of the business side of the industry. I've learned a boatload about marketing and a lot of the financial inner workings of broadcast. So, and that's kind of what I wanted to do when I went to the radio stuff after weather was build up on the business side of things, the sales side of things, because it's a very important part of the process is the revenue. So I've learned a lot about that. And why do you want to return to it now? I think it was basically a nice vacation, a chance to step away from it and kind of just, I was at the other place for 16 years and you build up your own biases and opinions and perceptions. And I think taking a year off has just given me a chance to just kind of clear all of that out, analyze all of it, process all of it, how much I love to process. And I think it's a good time to return, and this is a good chance for me to step back in front of the camera and see what's there, see what's left. I think there's quite a bit left. Kathy, does it bother you to go to work for a channel that let Rick, or do we not know everything? First of all, it doesn't bother me, and I don't think we know everything. We rarely do. I don't know, maybe that situation was a lot like mine. I know that they were negotiating, which means that there was an offer there. Anytime there's an offer, the employee can always take it. So it's not like they fired him, So no, it doesn't bother me, and probably not. You don't know everything about the situation. I don't know everything about the situation. But in this business, it happens a lot, I mean, you just, like I explained earlier, you have two sides, both have needs. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. And then you just hopefully move on, and everybody moves on and finds a way to be happier. So let's see. Lloyd, do you like when there is severe weather? No. And I'll tell you why. Job-wise, when you're doing weather and covering the storms, it's exciting. But it's scary for a lot of people, and sometimes people get hurt. And so I never like it when there's severe weather. Because I always have that in the back of my mind, when I'd be covering storms before, okay, it's awesome, there's adrenaline kicking, and this is what we really train for and study for, but you know what, dude, that's somebody's house that just got blown up by a tornado, so, there's always that in the back of my mind. So no, I don't like it. Lauren, if you could live anywhere in the U.S., where would it be? Wherever Faye is? Oh, big points! Big points. Let's see. That's true, though. Well, come on. Paula, garden plans for this year. Garden plans are kind of on hold. I just looked outside while I was surveying the mud damage with the dogs, and one of the onions from last year popped up already, so I may need to get going on that. Jenny Verstraeten. Who's your favorite cousin? First, second, third? Ha ha ha. I like that European kid a lot. That Mr. Verstraeten. I mean, his wife gets kind of moody and cranky, but he seems like a good kid. I think I'd put him, he's high on the list. That Mr. Verstraeten. I love all of my cousins, even the boneheads. You know who you are. All right, Jenny. Love you, Jenny. D, have you missed being in front of the camera? I didn't at first because it was just like, grew my facial hair out and stopped worrying about my hair and got a little girthy for a little while. Quiet Faye. But yeah, I do. I miss the biggest thing is, this connection with you guys and the performance. I miss that. It'll be good to get back, even if it's just for, 3 or 4 Sundays. I know you settled on the radio broadcaster as well as the freedom to be creative as you would like. If you missed on air, peeps watching. Oh, yeah. I've missed you. Oh, thanks. Good. Well, D, probably this Sunday we'll get back to it. So, Lisa, is your phone broken? I'm going to call you back. I'm going to call you back. Don't worry. Robert, Bob Lewis. What do you think of armadillos now being found in southern Illinois? Cool. Careful, don't run over them. Matthew, did you watch WrestleMania 31? I did. If so, what did you think overall? Seth Rollins does not inspire me. I don't like him, and not in a good, heel getting heat dislike kind of way. He just doesn't inspire me yet. I don't think he's all that charismatic. He can talk, but hasn't had much to say that's interested me so far. Kind of in the same way that Triple H. Great performers, incredibly athletic and all that. Triple H tells great stories in the ring when he grabs a microphone. He just doesn't interest me. And I feel kind of the same way about Seth Rollins. So I was very disappointed that he took the title. Love Brock Lesnar. Can't get enough because he's just so electric. Whenever he steps out, it's just, you can feel it, kind of like The Rock. WrestleMania 31, I'd put it somewhere in the middle. Wasn't the best by far. Wasn't the worst by far. As far as worst, see Undertaker versus Giant Gonzalez. What was that? The one outside with the togas? 8 or 9 maybe. Let's see. We got to get going here because we're 11 minutes in, and I'm having a throat issue. Excuse me. Habib, do you think we as a society will be able to adapt to the changes brought on by climate change? Well, we kind of have to. How much will climate change affect North America? Great question, and I'm not an expert, so I won't even fathom a guess. My guess is I will fathom a guess. But if you're on the coastline, go inland a bit. I think, especially places like Florida where it's kind of low anyway, going to be underwater. And, maybe decades out. I don't know how long it's going to take. How do you convince people that climate change is real? By definition, the climate always changes. The big question is, and I'm on record on this page saying that, excuse me. Hey! Knock it off, mud dogs! They'll get back at me for that later. It's a political issue, so we're kind of hosed now. We should take care of the water and the earth and the air anyway, because at the very least we all drink cleaner water, we eat cleaner food, and then the problem takes care of itself. We're better off if we take care of the planet. End of story. What is your favorite book and why? From Elizabeth. I'm not a big reader. I'm really not. The last book I think I read was a pro wrestling autobiography, maybe Hogan's book or Stone Cold Steve Austin's or something. Dark Tower trilogy was kind of a Lord of the Rings ripoff that I got into when I was in high school. That was a pretty good book. I read it more than once, so I probably have to say that one. James, I don't want to on TV. I don't want to miss you. As it stands right now, unless something weird happens, and there's still an outside chance it could get mucked up, I'll be on Sunday on WICD Channel 20, which I think also simulcasts on Channel 15 at 5:30 and 10 on Sunday evening. I think I'm also going to be on WRSP, which is a Fox affiliate in the area, at 9 o'clock Sunday evening. That could change. There's some paperwork stuff that's going on right now, and if it doesn't get completed, it'll be the following Sunday. But as soon as there's a definite yes or no, I'm going to let you guys know again. And believe me, I'll post it all over this page, so you won't miss me, James. Hang in there. Sheila, a medical question. If you have sarcoidosis, okay, and this time it's a mass in the right side of my face, chemo and other things can be tried. I was also told that surgery would be the last option. Is a cut? Okay. If they say it's the last option, make that the last option. What would you do? A wise one. Chemo can be pretty brutal. Second opinion, first of all, before you do anything, just a second set of eyeballs looking at it is always a great idea. That's what I would do first, Sheila. Good luck. Jennifer, sounds like you have plenty of questions to answer. Just wanted to say congrats on the new gig. Thanks, Jennifer, very much. And thank you for all of the questions, everyone. Thank you for still staying on this page. Stay tuned. The next couple of days I will give you very specific details on how you can watch if I'm going to be on this Sunday. And they stream their newscasts also, so I'll put that link up as well. I'm very excited to get back in front of you guys, and we'll see how it goes. I'll catch up with you soon.